So apparently it looks like Centric is the only one who makes these, and they're all gone. Don't know if there's another one out there, but by looking at the control arm and the hole in it, I'm like, you know, this really looks like a Dodge Dart one. I mean, it's such a huge ball joint, bigger than I've seen on most cars, like probably only on trucks. And then this bushing is tiny. So I have the old piece here. I have this guy, okay? And I know another piece was on the other end that popped off. And I knew I had a set of bushings for a Dodge Dart. So I'm looking at the bushing, and ultimately it fits in the spot on the inside the car, where it clamps around. Same width. It just has that guy, which I'm pretty sure it was on this and it just fell off. I don't know exactly how it goes on the new one. I don't know, they folded over. The original one was kind of just like, it was some kind of pressed over fit kind of thing. Not sure if nothing was there. I'm pretty sure something was on there, unless I only saw this guy pop out. Either way, it looks identical in every shape, way, and fashion. Until I go like this. Can you believe it? It's even smaller than a Dodge Dart bushing. Has this taper. Unless I'm supposed to go send it home, which I guess I got to do more research if that's the case. But like, this is a taper here, and half of it goes, the other half does not. Like, this is meant to be up against this at the very least, so that when you whack it in, it goes in. And this is 1.125 inches, and this is, which is 1.125, maybe even slightly smaller. I used the vernier caliper, but this guy here, according to the Rock Auto website, is 1.17. So it's 0.05 of an inch bigger. Right? Tenths, hundredths, yeah, 0.05, less than 0.05, 0.45, 45 thousandths, less than 0.05. So I'm screwed. Okay, so I'm gonna make a video here of how I'm gonna take apart like I did the other side. Okay, so right now the real problem with this is the idler arm, the bushing itself, and the joint at the center link. And I just hope that the center link I bought is correct, because nothing else I buy for this thing is correct. And even though it looks like it's moving on the other side, I think it's just kind of pivoting, because right now there's also the torsion bar. It's kind of hanging out on it. So that's first and foremost. Straightforward, as you can tell, bad bushings. I got a little bit of, what do you call it? Hang on. Yeah, I feel a little something in the ball joints as well. Albeit, it's not, tremendous. I did not take out the other strut rod bushing yet. Shocks coming out. Cut and dry, pretty much like the other side. But I'm going to show you my trick of what I do with a lot of these cars that have the torsion bars, because it's not as hard as it may seem to get them out. Sometimes they have this special thing that clamps on, or although I put my vice grip on it and I hit it with a hammer, there's something else going on when I do that. So when I get to it, I'll show you what I mean. And I'll investigate a lot of these parts more once I have them more loose. But because I'm right next to the toolbox and I have this much space, thank God the wheel is like 1.5 feet in, because I don't have no room. But I kind of made it a little hard on myself, but it is what it is. And now, since I can't get those bushings, I'm actually have some place I'm finding them, but they're not going to be available till June 1st to be sent out, and probably won't be sent out on June 1st, so I'll see. But all right, let me get to work and I'll show you what I do. Okie doke, so here we go. We got this car here with this thing. I took out the bearing. I'm going to show you what I do. I pretty much do this on all cars, but this car here has these weird adjustments. It's basically like a bolt. Let's see. So go away from the rotation of the tire to loosen it. Got another guy on this one somewhere here. So I put them towards the back of the car to make them loose. Okay, so now we go back to the front. Oops. So if you want to pop out this bearing and pop out the seal at the same time, particularly like if you're going to get it cut, because if you give it to the machinist, he doesn't like doing this. And nobody likes to do it actually if you don't, do it like this. This is the easiest way. So basically, I hope you can look in here. So this is what I do in just about every car. This car is different with the adjustments. So you back off on the adjustments. The front ones go towards the back of the car, so counterclockwise this way. And the other side would be technically clockwise when you're looking at the backing plate. Put the nut on here. You bring the drum and you overhang it where it's basically hitting the bearing. It's just barely hanging by a thread, just not the bearing but the nut. So it's hitting the nut, and my phone is messed up. But you just smack it, and then the nut is still there with the bearing and the seal all on it. Now I'm going to take off these 4 bolts. Everything should come off together with it, and I'm going to swing this to the side. The tie rod end will go to that side. I'll take off the nut for the idler arm and come back with another video. Okay, I didn't make a video on the other side yet because I felt play on this side, and I thought it was the center link here. I just wanted to see if the nut was moving with it. It seems to play in the box. And my phone is freezing up. Yeah, it's in the box. It's not like a loose pivot arm. Everything's moving. Not a lot, but I felt it. Just going in and out. Also, I have a little bit of play in the outer tie rod ends, both sides. So, like I said, I have a little bit of play in the outer tie rods. It's tiny, but I mean, everything matters. And this is the idler arm. I took the nut off, but it's a little hard to tell. But it was definitely moving a lot before, and I don't know if I wedged my tool in there to get it out, and it's like pushed outwards that way or what, but the bushing's way gone, and you can see it's like off center as well. So it was definitely moving everything. And so this is out. I'm gonna take out the shock, pop the ball joints, take out the bolts for the strut rod that are attached to the control arm, and release the tension on the torsion bar and whatnot. And hopefully I can make a relatively quick video with that too. Okay, so I got these nuts off the ball joints, put them back on, just so you can see the nut through it. Because God forbid, if something goes pop in your face, nothing happens. This is not a coil spring, so still in all, just in case, you never know. One thing I recommend all the time is not snap-on tools for everything, but for some things. And this is one time where you got, even though this is mushroomed here, this thing does not waver. So when you hit it, it really doesn't take too many hits. The other side gave me a bit of a problem because it's actually not a big enough hammer. And I'm to pretty tight quarters here. Maybe I should get the BFH. I'm really good at making blooper videos. Alright, let me try with 2 hands. Alright, I'm glutton for punishment, but I got a bigger hammer. You know what you gotta check? Yeah. You always gotta make sure you're not hitting something on the crossways. That was smart of me. See, I did it with my right hand from the other side. This is from the inside before. So it actually kind of goes in my favor. I'm not sure if that nips it right there or not. Kind of wants to keep turning in. The other thing we used to do is just hit the side here, you know. Get hit just the end here, top or bottom, and then it usually just pops off. Of course, you start marring it up, but this side don't want to go. Oh well. All right. So just when I made a video that was showing you guys, I already used I used an electric Ryobi ratchet. If you want a good tool, the new one, not the old one, because I have the old one. I busted it. It's an extra long one. Don't know if you can see it, but my battery is screwed up on this phone. Yeah, right there. That guy's awesome. Put a little leverage, started to spin it, and then the power pulled off the screws. I got them all out from here. Wiggled it a bunch to got it out, but this broke free when I held the spindle here, and it's a shame because my phone won't save the video. It just shuts off after it gets low on power, so about a minute and a half as the longest I can make a video. Anyway, so I was holding it while I was holding the ball joint fork, wherever it ended up, right here. So I had this in there, and before I was hitting it, it was kind of going all over the place, but when I held the spindle, boom, it popped without a problem. Yeah, this one is loose, and I didn't check that because I chucked it over there already. So now I got to loosen the load on the torsion bar, loosen that nut so this guy can come free and free up those bolts. But first I'm going to do the torsion bar. I really wish I could make better videos, but that's going tight. I unscrewed it all the way. I'm going to clean up these threads and grease them up and everything, anyway. So all the load is released. I actually took out the clip in the back here. I know it's all like muddy and stuff, but you'll find a clip. It's a round clip that you grab right there. There's two little tangs on it. And that's what it is. Sorry about the phone. One day this will be all working good. All right, now we take off the bottom bolts here. I see I got one. This is the extent of my videos. Alrighty, get that guy back on there. Alrighty, that's it. Two bolt holes out. Then I'll take the big nut off here in the front, which was a 33. I don't know what it is in standard. That's what fit that I had right there. And then I'll show you my big trick with the lower control arm, how to get it out of the torsion bar. Okay, as you can see, bolt on the ground over there. Ultimately, I'd rather leave it in, because you see what I did here. I loosened this nut, okay, and you see how the threads are in? That's because I was just tapping it. So now it's going, and what I'm trying to do is push the whole unit through the back where we took out that clip, okay? So now I got some space here, and then you just keep going, See, because the whole thing is kind of flopping around there, I didn't want to actually remove that thread because it kind of holds it in place, because I don't want the whole thing to move. but there's so much to bind on that it's probably not going to be an issue. See, look, and now it, boom, push it right out with my hand. Okay, and now when you do this, all right, hopefully my phone doesn't die on me. In fact, let me make another. All right, so the reason why I feel that it's a big deal what I do here, okay, you see the whole thing is out. A lot of people don't do this. They're sitting there trying to get the thing out from here, and it's very hard. It's a nice tight fit in here, like it should be, okay? But once you do this, okay, and you get it out like this is going to bind one way or the other. You can actually put a vice grip to it and hold it while you hit it this way now. Because what happens is when you start hitting it this way, it has no choice but to bind on something else. And see? Can you see it? See, it already came out. Oh. Boom. That's the way to get out a Chrysler torsion bar without any special tools. So now this is, as you can tell, this bushing was actually in better shape. But it's still, I guess when the load was on it, it looked funny, but you can see the cracks. It's time. It's old. This is all floppy. Now, my only problem now is getting the parts, and hopefully I'll be okay. So, my phone got messing up, but yeah, I just have to try to locate these parts. The lower bushings don't seem to be an issue, although I had the wrong ones to begin with. It looks like the company Centric has them, and Centric sells the upper ones too, but they're all out of them everywhere in the United States. So that's wonderful. I don't know why they just don't make more and stockpile them. It's crazy. To me, it's a no-brainer, but all these guys, they want to know exactly how many they're going to sell, and that's how many they're gonna sell. They don't want anything sitting on the shelf, probably. Not the way I would run the stuff, you know. But also these outer tie rods are probably going to be an issue. I really wanted to change everything. I hope everything is available to some degree. Hope I can find it. But that's in the box, like I said before. So it doesn't seem like the pitman arm is playing it, but I may just remove it and start jiggling it and see what I can do. But ultimately, this is it's not as bad as it seems, I guess, you know. But it's just, if you start doing one thing, you gotta do them all. I just think it's kind of silly not to, you know. Some things you can get away with. I guess the only other thing I gotta take off are these strut rod bushings, which can be a pain. So I don't know if I'm going to attempt them. I got to try to clean these threads because I've had plenty of these things strip out, and it's a weird thread from what I remember. So I'm going to spray the hell out of it and let it sit. Probably just take it off tomorrow. I'll see. See, ultimately also, this is something that you probably should do while the arm is still in, while it's bolted in, because then this thing is going to rotate and I put a vice grip on it. Maybe not. Maybe it'll kind of hold. You could put something, you know, I could put something through the hole here on the screwdriver. It's much worse on the newer ones that are bolt on both sides, like in a dart or something like that. You know, so shouldn't be crazy. I don't know where to get these sway ball bushings. There's nothing really wrong with them. They're actually in very good shape and very stiff. So for what it is, you know. So I'm not really worried about that. But ultimately, it came apart pretty good. I just hope I can find this stuff. That's the biggest thing. So I don't know when I'm going to make the next video, or maybe it'll be of something else, not of the front end. But I still got to wait for parts to come in the mail. I got work next week, so we'll see what happens as far as timeline of where I get it all back together, or start to at least. Hopefully then also the guy with the disc brake setup will be sending some things over to me, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I had a brainstorm. Remember when I showed you the nut that was inside here with the cotter pin that went through? And I'm like, how do you get the cotter pin out? And I got it out, but it was a pain. I'm like, that's going to be even harder to get in there. So I don't understand. But being that the washer that was in there, it was the same size as the bushing, which actually helped me get it pressed out. I think they actually designed it like this. So I'm putting a socket in there. I got it over the nut. And now I'm going to press on the socket. Technically, it should push the washer, which should push the bushing out. My problem was it was just very tight last time. So I don't know if this is going to work. But it's all solid. If it's going to go, it should go. And it's not looking like it's going. So I guess I got to get out that, what do you call it? I got to get out the cotter pin and the shaft again and do the same crap I was doing before. But it doesn't make any sense. And the thing is that it came out pretty easy, but this is after I had heated up all the rubber and got it out. But I'm wondering if I should just hit it with a hammer right now and kind of jolt it with the load being on it. So I'm going to make another video. I don't know if this is helping my cause. Oh, got it. Well, something went down. I don't know if that wash is really lined up or not. Hopefully I didn't break anything, but... that should have... Something's weird. Funny, because it seemed like it went down, unless it's hitting the... unless I have this not spaced enough, so... I'll see. Let's see what happens. So my hunch was right. Bushing is coming out. That is a thing of beauty. So basically you assemble this, and then you press it in like this with one of these guys. Okay? And this guy here was too big, so that's why once it hit it, it was like bottoming out, but it did come out. So my feeling right now is that it should there goes all my shit. All right, well, I gotta I can't move here. This may not be the best place for the press. Of course, I had all these things on it and finish organizing, and I had to go back to work, and more problems, more logistical problems, but well, at least something went right. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna make another video. All right, so I'm back in the vise. My feeling is now that I should be able to hit this, and it comes right out. Nope, still pretty tight. Not that I couldn't hit it harder with two hands, but I think I'm gonna put it back in the press and just go like this. But what do I gotta do? I gotta get something else on this that'll go around. Or I'm just gonna try hitting it with two hands first without the camera, but I'm pretty sure this should come straight through. All right, so I hit it really hard with two hands, knocking the socket flat, and then I got the extension, and now it's boom. So this is a pinion tool that presses in the bearing with the press. Looks to be perfect for that. That's what I'm going to use. But basically, you make this, because that's what I was wondering what the deal is with this. As you can see, that was on the other side. It was hard to get to, and then I remember I messed this all up. It got a little messed up anyway. It's a little bent up over there, so I'm not worried about hammering it flat. But that's the way you got to get it back in. That's crazy how they set it up like this. So basically, you assemble this outside, and then you press it with that. If you put the bushing in first, it can be done, but it can be very hard to get this cotter pin in if you want to trust it without it. So very interesting, very, very interesting. Different than the newer style, you know, Mopar bodies. So ended up being the lower bushing caused me a lot less trouble than the upper ones. So now I got to get those out. But I'm probably going to save myself the headache for tonight, and because I need the time before I go to sleep to try to research where I can get these parts, the upper bushings. So, but I'll probably just heat this up and get this guy out, the ball joint, and maybe I'll try to find a nicer way to remove these, You know, even if I have to heat it with a torch or something like that, or I'll get my tool around it probably. I don't know if I use my electric tool, the bolt buster. So, all right. So I think this is going to conclude today. I don't think this is going to be too much of an issue. If it is, then I'll be showing you a video. And that's it. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. So it's actually not difficult to get out. I don't know that yet, but you see how I'm able to get beneath the head of the ball joint, because you don't really need to heat up the ball joint. You got to heat up the body around it. So this is an amazing tool. It really is, and you can see everything going crazy. And I just realized, oh yeah, I'll just clamp it in the ball joint thing, because it should rotate on that without much issue, hopefully. And then we'll see. All right. Where's my gun? Let's see if I can do it on camera. Of course, the socket took a walk. You know, the last thing I used it on was this. God damn it. Oh well. I guess I gotta make one more video. Where the hell did I put the socket? That's crazy. What's wrong with me? Such a slob. Okay, so take 2 on this. Only because I got gremlins. The shit moves in this place like you wouldn't believe. And like I said, I didn't really finish cleaning these 2 particular tables, which complicates things. I didn't set up the press. It's the first time I used the press since the cleanup. And it's probably not in the best place. I found it inside that cover that goes on top of this. Oops, that's popping. And we got grease leaking out, and it smells like fish. Oh my God, it's nasty. Oh, guess what? Is this not even the fucking socket? Oh no, it is. Okay. Jesus. Well, that doesn't help. I guess I gotta hold it. I guess I gotta have enough room to also articulate down. Should be plenty. But largely it is coming out. How about some BB Blaster can with no? These cans lose their oomph. Of course, I'm not even getting it in the hole. And I have a new can. I just don't know where I put it. Well, it's probably by the car, actually. It's not here. Okay, so just in case there's something going on here, I'm going to loosen this. And then this is messy shit. I don't even know if this is going to work. The phone doesn't turn off on me. Here goes the gooey. Ah! So because of my lack of technology, I usually don't give you like real-time shit that I'm doing. And you don't know if I'm taking 6 hours in between every ball joint or whatever. But, all right. And still, there's no way I was going to undo that by hand. But you can see, like, the socket, like, digs in. Unless it's just fucking ripping out at the thing. Unless it was supposed to be tapered like that. I don't know. But I didn't use my old sockets. These are my new sockets. These are, like, from, you know, not Harbor Freight, but from Advance Auto, their brand that they sell. I forgot the name of the damn brand. I can't even read it though. Why does it say? Oh, Power Built. That's what it is. Yeah, so I got Power Built ones. These threads don't look so hot compared to the other ones, unless I'm comparing only, you know, the upper ball joints to the lower ball joints. But let's see. I guess a lot of these just look. So much grease was in there, and it came out clean. And the threads don't look bad on here. It's just a really weird thread. Really doesn't look that bad. And I think they thought that this thing was never going to go bad, ever. Yeah, I guess a lot of the same shit here. To be honest, it seems like there's even less threads on this. There's a lot of hardened grease though. See, like you could see a few threads there. Because there's no threads in the beginning. Like it's less, they're more flat here and then they get thicker as you tighten it. But ultimately this is not the way you really want it to look. And you hope it goes in properly. You know? I can't pop this off without beating on it with two hands. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. And if it is, it is. You know, I can't tell you how many times I had a tack weld in a couple of spots here. So, alright. Thanks for watching. I don't know when the next video is going to be because I got to wait for parts. Some parts that are coming in and other parts that haven't even ordered yet, such as these bushings here. So, they need to be done. Alright, thanks for watching.